Hello everyone, UK Goosebumps here, back with another video, and today I thought I'd mix things up a little bit, and I'm going to do on the top 3 best ways on how to read a Give Yourself Goosebumps book. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so number 1. This way is going to be probably the most simple way, the most ways kids used to read it back in the day, and probably a lot of the ways like just casual readers probably are going to read it. And I'm just going to use the example that I'm reading right now. I'm reading this Give Yourself Goosebumps book right now, and this is the simplest way. Just read it how it is. Just follow the instructions on each page. When you get to an ending, you can start from the beginning or go to the last option that you died at. Either of those options you can do. The only thing about this way is it can get a bit complicated when there's so many options that you have to go back to. But if you just take one step back at that option and then remember that the option you were before that one as well, but that's where it can kind of get a bit complicated. But if you just want to casually read a few endings now and again, that might be the best way. Another way that's kind of joined in with this reading it normally is you can set yourself lives. So say I want to have 3 lives. So if I have 3 bad endings, I die and I have to put the book down and I can't pick it up until the next day. Something along the lines of that. So I'll demonstrate now. So say if I'm reading my book and I come across 1 bad ending, that's 1 life down. Oh, I come across a good ending. Oh, okay, I don't lose a life, I can carry on reading. If I get 2 more bad endings, the lives are all cut off, I have to put the book down. That could be also a fun way of reading it. Yeah, so you could just read it normally like that and make it sort of a chill experience if you just want to relax and read it. Option 2. This is probably one of my least favourite options on this list, but it definitely works for some people. I know a lot of people that use it. So as you know, bookmarks, you know what they are. So what you can do is, for when you come across pages with options on them, so which page to go to, if there's multiple options, you put a bookmark of where those multiple options are. And what that helps to do is you can backtrack to any of those options on any of those bookmark pages, and you can backtrack to them and choose a different option if you die. But sometimes you can end up with like 20 different bookmarks because there are so many options in a book. So it can get a little bit complicated on where to backtrack. But the good thing with Give Yourself Goosebumps is if you read up until a certain point, you obviously die. So it doesn't matter what order you go back in because you've already read all the sections leading up to that point. So all of the options beforehand will still make sense. So that option could be good as well. I don't personally use that just because the bookmark thing gets a bit complicated. And then there's stuff like marking off your endings as well. You've got to figure that out. And then having so many bookmarks, it gets a bit confusing. But I understand that can be helpful for some people as they can visually see where all those options are and where they need to go. Now for the third option. This is the option I use the most and I find the most helpful and that I think is probably the best option. And that is going to be what I call a GYG calendar. I just call it that because I think it sounded good and I just wrote it on paper one day. Let me just focus in on this. As you can see, what I do is I write what page the options were on that I've gone through, and I'll circle the ones that I've done. As you can see, I've done a lot of options from this GYG book at the moment, so I think I'm on the second part of the story now. But yeah, from the beginning, it will probably only look like about half of that. It will not look like all of that. But yeah, so I'll give you an example. So say I'm on page 72, as you can see here, and there's options at the bottom. I'll write on here, page 72, as in the page that the options are on, and I'll write both the pages of what the options are for. So if you see electrical eel, open the door, go to page 44, so I'll write page 44. And then if you try to hit the code to open the door, go to page 64, so I'll write page 64. And then whatever one I choose, I'll circle that. So then I'll know later on down the line, okay, I haven't done that one, I'll go back to that page and I'll circle it and I'll do that option. That's the one that helps me the most because I can visually see it on paper and I can written all of those down. And also on the back, I write all the endings that I do as well. And that really helps. It can be a little bit complicated to start off, but you just remember, say if I've gone all through all these options, I've done all of them, but there's one at the beginning by there that I just haven't done yet. it doesn't matter in which order you can go in because you've done the story through all of that. So you already know what happens before that point, so it doesn't matter if you go to any one of those. So it doesn't matter what order, you can go in any order you want back to any option as long as like you've seen the option. It's a bit complicated to grasp at first, but it really helps when you actually write them all up. And those are my top 3 GYG options. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.